chess, a lot of nonsense, and analysis.
Yes, Watu, here we are yet again.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you too. Yeah,
Yes.
interesting start to the year.
Yes.
Cape Town Masters. Where do we begin, Watu?
Well, we begin with the fact that, we are both sitting here instead of being at the tournament.
Yeah, the tournament's currently underway, right? And we are missing out on round 6.
Yeah, we were supposed to be fighting for the tournament. I'm sure one of us would have been playing
The GM, right?
but one. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because of the actions that we were going to explain. Basically, we've been. Should we show the game?
Yeah. So just to give the viewers some context, we, myself and Watu, we basically practically forced to withdraw from the event. We got defaulted from our last game that we played. This is our last round 5. We were on 3.5 out of 4, both of us, right?
No, 3.5 out of.
Yeah, we were 3.5 out of 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this was. We'll give some more context, but just for the viewers, this is the game that got us defaulted. So I have the white pieces. Watu's got black. We have a typical hedgehog position here, Maroxy bind, and in this position, this repetition happened over there. So that's what got us defaulted.
Exactly. Now the issue, though, is that first and foremost, the committee that was judging based on this game, it's something that is inside the board. I don't feel that they had the expertise to do that because I looked at their rating. I mean, possibly the highest rated player there. They've not over 1,500, let's say. These are basically weak club players.
Yeah. So, I mean, don't they usually have in these committees, don't they have like a strong player? You even ask a player from the event usually, right?
I've been in many events, SA Opens, where they would come to me and other players and say, do you mind being part of a committee, an appeals committee that we had to put together?
Yeah.
So that there are some expertise, so that you have someone who's going to be from the arbiter's point of view there, someone from the player's point of view there, and then there can be some objective sort of ruling.
Yes. That only makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
So, just by the way, I would like to read out the appeals committee members. So the appeals committee members that were present, this is a document that we received. I'll show it to the viewers as well. So present is Burton van Staden, tournament director / chairperson. And then we have Daryl Jacobs. Not sure who that is.
Not sure that
Googled him. His FIDE rating is 14 something.
Yeah.
1470 something. And then we have Paul Wilson.
He's not a player as far as I know.
He's a parent, right?
He's a parent.
So
maybe highest rating 1,400.
I doubt Paul is close to master level.
Okay.
So that's the appeals committee.
Yeah.
And so what is the main point, Watu? Why have we been defaulted? I've got the document here. Can
Right.
you just give some quick breakdown?
The main point basically is that at a specific moment, we showed that we don't want to play on. Can one say that? We forced a repetition. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
On the
Look, it must be said, of course, the tournament has a rule. This is what do they call Sofia rules, right?
Yes.
Where you cannot offer a draw before move 30.
Right.
And I wasn't aware of this rule. To be honest, I wasn't aware. I didn't read it in the brochure. Right? And you offered me a draw on move what? I don't know, very early, right?
Well, let me explain the reason for it. Well, you see, they talk about us pre-arranging this, but I'm going to say, we are players who have a track record. And I'll make an example, okay? And there are many examples, but I'll mention one. There was last year an event where we traveled together, actually, to a tournament that was 1.5 kilometers away from Cape Town.
Let's no rapid
A
tournament.
rapid tournament in
Hermanus?
Hermanus, right? Traveling together. In that tournament, I was leading the tournament, and we played not the last round, but it was round 8.
Yeah.
The round before the game.
Yeah.
We're traveling together. We're gonna travel back together.
Yeah.
We went to our separate ways. We had lunch, the usual way. We got to the game, and we played.
I'm basically out of the prize money, right?
You're out of the prize money.
I need to do a miracle. I need to beat you, but one last round and maybe make top 3 or top 4 or something. Maybe.
You are not playing for anything.
If you won, you get the 10K.
If I win, I get 10K there and there, done.
Yeah.
Last round is irrelevant. I get the 10K. What did we do? We play, and actually you smash me.
Yeah.
You smash me completely to pieces. I lose the game. Okay. I've lost the game. It's chess. Go outside. Oof, lost. Recollect myself. Come back. Play the last round. Luckily, I managed in the last round to win, and I still managed to win the tournament. But I'm pointing this out and I can make numerous examples where I've played you many times in last rounds, and we fought it out and draw, and it was bad for both.
The competitive nature, if you can check between us, is always there, right?
Right.
So
right. So now I'm saying, now for someone to say, okay, let me explain my reasoning. Now, I get into this game. It is a second round yesterday, and I already wanted to prepare because I started preparing for the game, and I realized my energy levels are very low. I'm not in a position where I can. It's a long tournament. I'm not in a position where I can fight.
Everybody knows you by now, Watu. You. This is one of the main things that you mentioned when it comes to tournament. We know you already what you don't want to play 3-round events. You don't want to play long events. It's always something, especially for the older players. We're all getting a bit older. So yes. It's known that you get tired, right?
It plays a role.
Yeah.
You know, in many cases, it is, you know, the reason why I dropped a lot of rating points is just getting tired. Yeah. So, in a way, then I manage the situation. So now for me, a very good point happens in that you finished your game, the first game, you had a very long game.
Fighters. The longest game of the first round of the day. I played Ethan Samuels.
Right.
I left her playing all last, right, basically.
So I understand, of course, that energy-wise, maybe your energy is not there. Okay, so I get to the game. But as usual, I have to play. So I play. And then when I reach now a critical position, because it's also important to know when to offer the draw.
Yeah. So
I offer the draw, completely forgot about the actually I didn't even check the regulations about the draw. It wasn't mentioned. But anyway, this Sofia, right? And then the arbiter comes, Andrew Talmarkas, Mr. Andrew Talmarkas, and he says, no, by the way, guys, you have to make 30 moves.
That was a surprise to us both.
Oh, okay. Then he starts the clock. No communication. We don't communicate. No whatever. It goes on as usual. So the game resumes. And then, we play. And then there is a threefold repetition. Arbiter comes back. And actually, he passes and says, oh, well, that's one way to do it.
In the document, again, that I will share with everyone, the document, the statement from Chief Arbiter Ricardo Minnaar, he's claimed that after the threefold, Andrew didn't engage with us.
That's not true.
I think that's incorrect.
Yeah, that's incorrect.
That's incorrect.
And so he engaged, and he said, well, that's one way to do it. And he actually even said,
go and enjoy the evening, guys.
Enjoy the evening, guys. Yeah. And so, okay. So everything is fine.
Everything looked fine.
Yeah.
Right.
So get home and then hit by this. So for me, I think the simple thing is this one. The guys who were at that meeting, they didn't have the expertise to understand the position. They didn't understand because what they did, they are following with the computer. like, the moves following with the computer. So when they see the moves being played, they have no understanding what is happening, and that is that. So I feel that in order for us to also lift the level of the audience, maybe, as you can see, guys, our phones are ringing off the hook. As you can, so the for the audience, it is possibly to explain the what we know about the position. Then everyone can sort of be on the same footing.
Yeah, look. What to put it in a nutshell, guys. What Watu's basically saying is, in the document they claim that our moves were nonsensical, and we are going to give you some background why it makes sense. All right, to give you some background from my side, Watu gave a bit of his background. I had a long game. I do get more tired nowadays, and you have to pick your fights, right? So in the second round, I was very willing. Usually when I have the white pieces, I'm very willing to fight for one against Watu. And in this game, I was actually kind of hoping that Watu would overreach himself, right? So he did surprise me in the opening with the Sicilian Khan. When does Watu play the Sicilian Khan again? I haven't seen him play it a lot. But I had to go through my old files in my mind, what to do, what decision to make. And we will show some experience from our prior games in this opening. But the nature of this line that we are playing, this hedgehog, Maroxy bind hedgehog position, is if the one side overreaches or overextends, then the other side can counter.
The one side is waiting. It's called the coiled spring.
Yes.
You don't have space. You are waiting to counter.
So I was very much aware that so first of all, I'm super tired. Secondly, I'm surprised by your opening choice. So now I'm not in my prep. So I'm not confident to just suddenly start pressing, right? And thirdly, I want to make a non-committal move and wait for my opponent to show me where to attack. Because statistically, black wins a lot once white opens himself up. All right, we'll have a bit deeper look at the position in a moment. But this is the background, and I did not want to commit because I'm tired. I'm scared this has happened so many times, Watu. Me as a youngster, I can remember playing against you, playing against Kenny Solomon, playing against Donovan van den Heever. When you are young and ambitious, you play ambitiously, you overextend, and then you get punished for it.
Yep.
It's happened millions of times against Watu when I was playing you. So this time around with more experience, I didn't want to overplay my hand. I'm tired. I don't have energy to be creative. So I was waiting for him to come at me. Almost like a boxing game here. I want you to open up. And then if you had opened up, I would have gone for the kill. Otherwise, I don't have creative juices left, basically.
That is why in a football game, when both players are, in a football match, two teams, slowly moving the ball back, no one is penetrating. The commentators will even say, it's a chess game, because that's exactly what it is. It's a strategy. Strategy is not, boom, I'm attacking. That is now the outcome. The strategy is, the game is won in determining who's going to attack where, and what's going to happen. Yeah. Once the attack happens, there already is basically one who's better, one who's worse.
Yeah. I want to raise two more points here before we start looking at the strategy of this position. Number one, in this document that was said that shows that our appeal was declined, right, or denied, it mentions that there's no proof of pre-arrangement, which there wasn't. Mm-hmm. But secondly, the main basis of us being defaulted is that there is the moves are nonsensical, which we are going to disprove now.
Yeah.
And the game is, they even reference, they paste some a quote from the Dubov Nepomniachtchi game.
Yeah, which is completely different. Yeah.
If you look at the Dubov Nepomniachtchi game, both players were moving the knights up and down
from move one.
Right? No sense at all. Right. And if you compare this game that we played, I can use as a lecture. I can use it as an instructive lecture. I can tell you all the intricacies why we played what, which we will look at. But if you take that Nepomniachtchi game and Dubov, it will put the game in complete disrepute. Right? So you cannot show it to a student because it doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So that's the main ground that they're comparing it to. Our game is nonsensical like that game.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're saying. But it's because of the skill level. The
There's
skill
no
level that is not existent in their appeals committee.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
So
No skill level. And no attempt to even raise it. The arrogance not to even get someone who's at least 1800
something
to get there.
It's almost like you're asking a mechanic to come and fix to come check the airplane. Are we ready for liftoff?
Exactly.
So yeah, and then that's the first point. And then the last point that I want to raise is in the document as well, they give levels of punishment that the arbiter can give.
Yeah.
Choose from the conduct, right? So with all of this that we are going to explain and show in the game,
if there's a violation, by the way, which now there is no violation. If there is a violation,
right?
We have to say that if.
Yes.
Okay.
If there's a violation, with all of these levels, why does the arbiter choose the maximum punishment?
It can be warning, it can be this, it can be...
warning, there's a penalty fee that you can pay, there's points deduct. You can even get expelled from the tournament. Now, getting expelled from the tournament
is the last
and is the harshest one, right?
Yeah.
But
second last
is the one that we received, which is you drop your half a point.
Yes.
What the competitive player? We are leading the tournament basically. Yes. Who's going to continue that? We're practically forced to withdraw.
Yeah, they're forcing us to withdraw, and that is.
So why do we get the harshest level of punishment where it's not they are standing on unsettled ground, and you are talking about two players that have contributed to the province in so many ways, playing wise. You can check out track records, coaching wise, everything. Why do you go to this extent?
And may I say something interesting regarding the two gentlemen who seem to be pushing this, which is Ricardo Minar and then Dr. Mukwena, who is the so-called fair play, whatever. What I'm trying to say is that, I played in one Moja event, and there was a clear game where the players were actually fixing the game. They were fixing the game.
Maybe more than one.
They were fixing the game. I'm not going to mention the names. Yeah. They were fixing the game, and the result was it was a thrown. One player threw the game to the other player. Okay, they were both title players. I personally went to both gentlemen because they were there, and I said, "This is a fix," and this and that. They said, put it in. They tried. They didn't say I should put in writing. First, they went up and down, this and that. Then the next round they did nothing, and the next round they announced, if you have anything, please put it in writing. So they let that stand. Okay. So in terms of their high moral ground,
same arbiter, same organizer,
same arbiter, same. Well, yeah,
it feels,
but he was organizing somewhere else. Appeals official, yeah. So it is selective.
Yeah,
it is a selective idea of when do I want to impose things, and here there was no violation, by the way.
No violation.
This is the point.
The funny thing is
there is no violation.
I actually came to play a game, and I get punished for that. How do you explain logically to someone you come to play a game, you are in the tournament to play and win the event, and then you get punished with a half a point, and you are expected to come the next day and act like and just play like nothing happened?
I think let's go into the games now and just give everyone else, an understanding of the structure.
Yes.
So let's start first with Fisher.
There's a famous game. Bobby Fischer played a game against Ulf Anderson.
Right.
And this is actually reversed colors, right?
Yes.
Because if you notice the structure, Bobby's got this hedgehog setup.
Exactly.
And maybe the only difference here that black has is the
system
is not on
yeah.
Right?
But
you can see the structure is the same. And there's a legendary strategy that Fischer kind of used here to one.
Exactly. So based on the structure on this G7 F6 E5 black structure, it means that there could be some break. You can either break with D4, you can break with F4, or you can break with G5. Okay. Yes. And Fischer, he is not yet choosing it, by the way. He plays King H1.
what a move. In this position, have you guys seen this move before?
Ah, okay. King H1 is played.
Play by Bobby Fischer.
Right.
19, what is this? I don't know.
Okay, so King H1, the idea is actually, it is still a waiting move, by the way. It depends how black will play, but King H1 gives rise to the idea that I could play, for example, Rook to G1.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not forced, but I could play.
Why it's a flexible move. You're waiting, you're seeing what your opponent is doing.
Exactly. For example, if you look at now the computer, actually the computer says King H8 is one of the moves that black has to
switch on the computer. Yeah, King H8 is one of them.
Yeah, yeah. The viewers can look at this and switch their computers on. King H8 is a very high move. Idea is you're getting ready. You are also waiting though for one to commit. Okay. Anyway, he plays Queen D7. Rook G1, Rook D8, Knight E4. So nothing still with King H1, Rook G1 has got any meaning. If black plays anything else, they would probably move back and so on. But black makes a mistake and plays Queen F7 and then G4.
G4 was possible.
Right. Okay.
And this is dangerous, of course, with the king on G8 because white is clearly trying to open up the G5.
Exactly. All right. And yeah. Is there any other example that you want to show?
With this idea, right? Let's move on. So that's Fischer went on to win this convincingly, by the way. So now, Watu, you have a game.
Okay.
You have a game against Sergei Kasparov.
Right. So I played a game against Sergei Kasparov. It was in one of the events.
Grandmaster Sergei Kasparov with the white pieces. What you got black in?
Yeah. Let's go to the critical position.
So we fast forward and we see that the structure is there again.
Yes.
Same structure, everyone.
So
Hedgehog setup.
The hedgehog setup, same structure. So I play Rook C8. He plays Rook C1, Queen C7. And now there is a difference. He plays the move pawn to P4. Mm-hmm. This is now, there are other plans. It's not a bad move, but it's a committing move.
It's committal, yes.
Commits. Now C4 is attackable.
Yes.
So now
usually you can play B3, right?
Yes,
just to point out to the viewers. B3 rock solid. White is not committing.
Yes. So P4. So I play Queen B8. He plays A3, and now I play King H8. But now
again, this mysterious move.
Yes. So King H8 again. But now the idea, okay, he plays Queen D2, Rook G8, Knight B3, and now notice though, because of the C4 issue. In the Fischer game, remember this, the pawn was not on C4, it was on C7. This is now very subtle. Yeah. And I'm showing this because even a grandmaster, Sergei Kasparov, 2480, he didn't pick up the subtlety. There is subtleness in the position because the Fischer game, the pawn was on C7.
C7, yes.
Yeah. And remember when we said the mistake was Queen F2, Queen F7.
Allowing G4.
Yeah. But the problem now in this position is that there are subtle differences. The one difference, number one, is the king is on G1. The second difference is that the pawn on C4 is weak. So he misses the idea that I can play G5. And now he realizes, oh my goodness, what have I done?
What's happening? Bishop G5?
95.
Oh, okay.
This is the whole point.
Mm-hmm. Just point out
bishop takes G5, 95. King G1. Highlight the king on G1. Highlight the king on G1, the rook on G8, and the king on G1. If you move the bishop, knight takes F3, and the queen is lost. Highlight the fact that the pawn on C4. Highlight the fact that the pawn on C4 is hanging. Yeah, and tactically.
This is because white committed with C4 and B4.
White commits. Yeah. So this is very important to understand. Yeah, you have also experience in the structure.
Yeah. So anyways, that is okay. Why is Liches freezing over here? Let's see if we can move on to the next one. Yeah. So that Watu actually went on to win that one quite nicely. Mm-hmm. But you say G5 was more possible when white opened himself up, right?
Yes,
G5 in itself is opening your own king.
Yes,
but you are risking for some reward, but it makes more sense if your opponent is also.
But now my keyword there was what? Subtlety. Mm-hmm. That even a grandmaster could not recognize at that particular moment that there are subtle differences that make a difference when the king is on H1 and the king is on G1 and the king is on H8 and the king is on G8, which is impossible for a 1200 to pick up in an appeals committee, by the way. But I'm just highlighting that for the viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
So I actually just want to point something out. Okay, I'll get to my game and then I'll just. I think that in the Fischer game something similar happened where Wolf tried to defend, but this is my game against I am Daniel Jere from Zambia, 2016 Capablanca. So I have the white pieces, and from some transposition we get into, guess what, the same position. So Watu and myself, we've got a lot of experience in this position from both sides, and just notice the non-committal moves from my side. I've got the white pieces, so we've said that this structure is solid. White can play b3, right? But besides that, I don't want to push any more pawns. Otherwise, I'm exposing myself. I can make some moves with the queen and then the rook, place them somewhere. We'll talk about more ideas when we get back to our game. The rook c1, queen d2, rook d1, queen e1. What am I doing? Queen f2. I'm hanging around. I'm waiting.
Yes.
I want to see what black
You're
wants
not
to do.
committing. You're not pushing any pawns. Because it's
King
such
h1.
Nonsensical. Nonsensical. Nonsensical screams at 1300. Nonsensical screams at 1200.
Come on. So king h2. I go knight c2. I am still waiting. What
Nonsensical. Nonsensical screams at 1200 in the appeals committee.
Rook g8. So my opponent is finally deciding he doesn't want to wait anymore, because my opponent is higher rated than I am. Right? He's much higher rated. He's one of the top seeds, and decides to go for it. Right? And in this position, I actually had the urge, Watu, at some point when I saw g5, I had the urge to play g3 to counter. So g4 is coming. I had the urge to play g3. Let's just make an example, g3, but g4 comes so strong.
Look at your king.
Look at this diagonal.
Your king is on h1. He's on the wrong square now. All of a sudden,
if
the
subtleties
g1 makes a big difference. The subtleties.
So
nonsensical, script at 1300.
I want to make non-committal moves and useful moves at the same time. King g1 makes sense.
1200. There's no capacity to understand this.
So okay, and eventually I lose the game. Right? Good game by Jere. And that's my experience. Just to point out with the Fischer and the same idea. G6 got played because the king is on G1, G8.
Subtleties.
And he doesn't want his king on H8 because of his bishop.
Depends where the king is. It's not just the thing.
So yeah, that's. And then just finally, one last example, also from the same event. Actually, I gained some experience in this whole line in that tournament. I played against another IM from Zambia, Chitumba Mwale, very strong player. Same position, and look at what I'm doing with what. I'm waiting.
Nonsensical.
I hope you're getting the picture now, viewers. I hope you're getting the picture. Hopefully the viewers' elo will go up with this line at least.
I think the appeals committee has to watch this.
Yeah. Queen e1, queen b8. Both
nonsensical.
Queen e1, queen f2.
Nonsensical.
Why am I not going for my opponent?
Nonsensical.
Bishop d8, a3. a3 even is a slightly committal, by the way, because now I can't play b3 so much.
Yes.
Without being worried about a3, right?
Yeah.
So I go a3, bishop.
It was actually better, possibly in that position, to play king g1.
Yeah. Maybe it was. Bishop c7, and now h3. Slightly committal. I'm weakening the dark squares, and my opponent jumps on it. He goes knight h5 with his bishop and queen.
Yeah.
All right. And bishop f1, and my opponent now commits himself with d5, which actually was the cause of his loss here. So I was just, what did I do, Watu here? What did I do to try and beat my opponent? I didn't go past the halfway line.
Yes.
But when my opponent played d5, all of a sudden I'm winning.
Yes.
Because he's committed himself, he's attacking.
He's not ready, yeah.
So if black is not willing to come at you, if he doesn't want to lose, he mustn't press.
Yes.
I wasn't pressing.
You must wait for the right moment.
And all of a sudden the complications work in my favor.
Yes.
So this specific line, the hedgehog, is so complicated.
Let's go to our game then.
Very complicated. And
so here's our game.
Yeah.
So the point is, okay, let us go knight b7.
Yeah, I've got something also, some background to this game that I'd like to explain, but you go ahead. What to knight b7?
Okay. Yeah, knight d7. So you play king h1.
King h1, yeah. So this all of a sudden looks familiar, the idea, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
After this few examples, okay, king h1.
It's completely normal. But the issue now is that there are so many plans that white can play. Okay, we're not going to make a whole thing. White can play a very dangerous plan, a4, a5.
Yes.
To break my structure.
Very modern idea.
Yeah.
Saw it the first time by Strikovic, I think. Alexis
yes.
Strikovic. I personally saw it from him in one of his games.
Yeah. White can try to hit me on b6, play queen like you played in the other game, play to queen to f2 and knight a4.
Yeah.
White can try to advance on the king side, solidify and play some g4, g5, f4, keep bishop f3.
Whatever, right? Yeah.
But whatever White plays, I need to be ready in terms of, let's make an example. Let's say White plays for whatever reason. So I play king h8. Let's say White plays g3. I'm just making an example. Okay, it's a nonsensical move. Okay, not that 1500 to know what a nonsensical move is, but that's beside the point. Okay, so g3 is a nonsensical move, but now the diagonal is weakened. And now I can play rook a7, for example. Yeah, I can consider I can play queen a8. Because now all of a sudden the diagonal is weakened and d5 will come in with a lot of power because the white squares are going to be weakened. Okay, so what do I do? So after king g1, after king h1, so 97 you play king h1, so I play king h8.
Yes.
So king h8 is
a waiting plan.
Yes, waiting move. Idea plan maybe rook g8, but I cannot play too early and commit to out too early because you haven't advanced, you haven't made any weaknesses. But I play king h8 because I want to see which plan you are going to make. Are you going to play? If you play rook c1, then I don't have to worry too much maybe about a4, a5. If you play queen e1, then if you play b4, then it depends where I to play because I can place my piece in so many ways. I can play rook c8, rook c7, queen a8. Yes. I can play rook c8, queen c7, queen b8, queen a8. I can play rook b8 and play for b5. I can play so many moves. So what do? I play after king.
So you go king h8 and just by the way, so I have this in mind and
the king is on h1.
We know the plan. I want to go g3, but so what do? I don't want to commit with b4.
Yes.
I don't want to commit with a4.
Yes, because then the plan becomes quite strong, like we saw, for example, in that game.
And remember, I'm tired. I don't want to lose against Watu in this game, guys. I don't want to overreach because I don't have energy. I played the longest game of the event or the round just before that against Ethan. So I go king g1, not committal.
Now,
I want to wait for you to show your hand as well. I want you to go g5 and something so that I can bounce on it.
Of course. So now the point is, I'm saying now is that king g1. Okay. So now I'm still waiting. And so for me, it's there are many moves that I can play, but none of them can be pawn moves. And remember, my rook can go to e8 to facilitate bishop d8, bishop f8. My rook my rook can go to many different positions, but I don't know where it has to go. My queen can go to b8 or can go rook a7 to a8 directly. I don't know where this queen has to go to. I don't know where any of my pieces have to go to. I don't know because you haven't committed. Nonsensical skips the 1300. I don't know what you've committed. So for me, I play king g8. It is the only thing. It doesn't ruin my position. I don't overextend. I play king g8 because king g8 is logical, and I'm still waiting for you because you have not committed. And now you play king h1, and we go back to the explanation of what we said, and then there's a repetition. And nonsensical.
I want to add just a smaller bit of context here, guys. That with my tiredness at the beginning of the game, what surprised me with the opening. So I started thinking long. You guys can go and check the timestamps. I was like 20 minutes behind on the clock here already. Now, in such a position where you can't commit, if you are tired and you're calculating constantly, if you fall behind the clock like this, I mean, I'm going to bust out somewhere. So I need to start playing faster. What must I do? Must I just attack nonsensically?
And must you now start thinking because what I'm hoping...
Because you playing king h8 quickly, what must I do?
What I'm hoping for is exactly that, because I'm also tired, but you're also tired. The back of my mind somewhere is the hope that, now you go into a think tank and you spend 30 minutes and then you're in time trouble, then I'm taking you to the clinics.
That's exactly what I've done in the past.
You've done a lot of that in the past.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of that in the past. So I'm like, fine, I move around. If he goes into the think tank, and then he's in serious time trouble. I'm tired, but I can take him on because now I've got some on my side time. But no, you don't. You go king h1. So now we're in a loop. We're in a loop. If you think about the thought process that is happening, we explained already in this position, King H1 and King H8, it's a loop.
This is a sophisticated loop, but it's a loop.
It's a loop. It's a loop. Nonsensical. So the point is that they are not, first and foremost, with all due respect, they had no business to be looking at this position. They are not qualified to look at it. They need to bring somebody at least who is qualified to make such judgments.
In the document also, I think they mention what Leach has said is the best move, right? I don't think players, in fact, anybody, this is something that players from any level can take to heart, that if you want to improve at your game, you cannot look at your engine the whole time, right? So if you are going through your games, trying to improve, analyzing your games, if you just have the engine on the whole time and you try to check what's the best move, you will not improve strategically the way you should be improving, right? So when it comes to the engine, if you are 1300 or 1400 and you are looking at these moves and you've got the engine on, you might think, these guys are playing nonsense here. But if you have the background, if you have the strategical knowledge of what's happening, then you can understand that both sides don't want to commit with reasonable conditioning, right? So it does not help to just have the engine on.
I just heard now, because I was talking to a strong player, an expert who was playing for South Africa, and advocate Maxwell Solomon, who's in the legal profession, and he wrote something here, very long, but I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to read something very just simple, okay? So basically, he says that, okay, you stated in your thing that you were going for the practical approach, and your main point is that the rule applied by the chief arbiter was not made known to the players. That is essentially that no threefold repetition draw before move 30. That would have been then a different story had that been
pointed out.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what kind of chess game would be played, but if it is pointed out, it is pointed out. Okay, now then it says the appeals, they rightly accepts that the game was not prearranged. They say that in
the document,
right? Listen to this. He says that, but then they shift to the manner in which the threefold repetition draw is achieved, and then they conclude that it was deliberate and brought the game of chess into disrepute.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? As regards the deliberateness, Calvin's King H1 move is normal in this standard position. This is a player who understands chess. And to understand the repetition that follows, one should have regard to Kevin's subjective state of mind as stated in the appeal statement. Okay? If unhappy with the threefold repetition, the arbiter should have indicated it to the players.
Instead of saying, go and enjoy your evening, guys.
Exactly. Then they rely on a blitz game precedent to back the conclusion, right, of bringing the game into disrepute. That blitz game of Nepo against Thing, that's what they quoted. But that precedent is not in bold letters by an expert, not appropriate in regard to this appeal, because it was found that the two GMs, they had indeed prearranged their game.
Exactly.
They had prearranged, okay? So, and the sanction of awarding both players 0 points seems harsh, especially when no rule prohibited the threefold repetition of a draw. A warning would have been appropriate, and it would have given the arbiters a chance to publicly announce to the players how the new rule works, or the one that they should follow.
Nicely put by Maxwell.
Yeah. Well, as we expect from an advocate and a strong player who was playing for the team.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for me, as a passing note, this matter has been laid to rest. The appeals, from my perspective, the appeals committee, they had no business looking at chess matters. They're not qualified enough to look at that. It seems to me, with all the other cases that have been put to before, there is somewhere a vendetta I notice. There's some vendetta. I don't know against you, but against me, because I have a very big mouth and I express exactly what I'm thinking, as I'm going to do now. I don't care. The point is that it was selective. It was a selective thing to target specific players. But I have bad news for them.
What's the bad news?
I'm in good spirits, first and foremost. And secondly, the bad news is that they are trying or hoping that then I will say, I'm not going to play and so on. Nah, they're going to get the opposite.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Actually, I want to play the next.
Yeah.
And they went after that.
Yeah.
I'm coming all guns blazing. And this time I'm going to come with the rule book, with the Fide rule book and so on. And by the way, I am going to be ready for when I'm there, because they are declaring war. It is fine. I'm going to be ready when they make nonsensical rules. I always go to tournaments and I see the arbiters.
You see it all the time. You see it all
nonsensical rules, and you let it slide. You let it slide. The arbiter makes. I mean, I've seen arbiters, they cannot even place the king, like on e4, e5 after the game. They don't even know where to place the kings in a win, in a draw. They don't know. So. But now I'm going to be keeping it a close eye. I'm going to be keeping a close eye.
Yeah, no.
And I'm going to be ready to pounce. And I'm even going to go to as much as pouncing and even reporting them to Fide if need be, because that's the game they want to play.
Yeah.
Game on.
Look, I'm also fired up, Watu. I'm actually excited. I actually didn't play, I don't know, this last time I played was Western Province League a few months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, and I started enjoying this event. I actually enjoyed it. Maybe what I would like to end off with, I don't know if you still want to add anything to it, but talking about this Magnus issue with Fide, what Magnus also said in an interview is that the officials or arbiters should also have, so there's a lot of talk about the spirit of the game. The officials should also make decisions, sometimes a judgment call based on the spirit of the game and the tournament, right? In the document that we were sent, it was stated that the manner that we played disrespected the organizers,
Please.
the fans, fans, and everyone else involved, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, if you think about the aftermath of this decision that the organizers made, which was foreseeable, you are not going to take half a points away from competitive players and expect them to rock up the next day.
No.
So they knew this is the most likely outcome.
They're kicking us out.
So how do you keep the tournament most reputable? If you're thinking about the name of the tournament,
and what is it?
do you give a warning or a penalty fee and let it known for everyone and let the tournament continue? Because we were almost in the lead. We're playing for the tournament.
Yeah.
Or do you do this and then completely throw the tournament? Because I mean, the players that are supposed to playing us now this morning,
they got a point.
they got points. You throw in the
a very important point.
integrity of the tournament.
Yeah.
Throwing out.
Yeah. And what is interesting is, now that you're mentioning it, when they were saying about the points, they actually mentioned also a point that something about the prize. What did they say? Oh, and decent prize money.
Prize money is decent.
They said
the sponsors,
and decent prize money. So that got me thinking. If they are saying this is decent prize money, it means that the normal the rest of that we play
Stag Life
is not decent. It's not decent at all.
Yeah.
Right? They know it. I mean, completely ridiculous. A power flex. People wanting to be in the spotlight, not necessarily, pushing themselves in to the. A good leader is happy to be in the background, to be not even visible. It's like a football match. A good referee, you shouldn't even see that the referee is there. That's why I don't even know the referee's names.
Yeah.
The only way you know a referee's name is if the referee is nonsensical.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. A referee who does the Italian guy, the bold guy, but the other, generally you don't even know the referee's name, because he just has to make sure the rules are made. And actually we say, oh, he let the game go, he let it flow, you are commended when you are a good arbiter if you don't interfere.
Yeah.
and you get the feeling that some of our arbiters they want to grab attention.
They are the Ronaldos. They are the stars.
They are the stars. We'll bring cameras next time and take pictures of them. What to do?
Yeah. So that's basically what. Not to mention, of course, we are basically losing potentially out on money, right?
Yeah,
because we had to pay penalty, we had to pay appeals money, right?
Yeah.
And we're missing out on the opportunity to actually win. We're losing time. We committed ourselves to this tournament. I could have been coaching. I could have been working.
Yeah.
So this is definitely not taken lightly from my side. So. Serious questions, and I hope Cape Town Chess or Western Province / Western Province Chess will have a good look at this. I hope everybody that gets to view this and watch, make up your own mind.
Yeah.
Look at our explanation.
Was the judgment really?
Was it a fair one?
Was it a fair one?
Should we have gotten a warning? Should we get a penalty?
Should we really be deducted of points because of this?
I mean, I've been playing tournaments fairly in Western Province for many years.
This is the first time I've been deducted points in my life.
I actually didn't know how to withdraw from the event. This is my first time.
I wasn't sure. How do I withdraw? I mean,
so I don't know was this the appropriate one. So yeah, but please throw in your comments, everyone. Throw in your comments. Tell us what you think. Doesn't make sense. What's happening? We'd love to hear from you. We need the strength of the community to make their voice heard, basically, and share it as well. Please, if you see this, share to all your chess groups, to everyone around, and ask questions as well, so that it doesn't happen to you when you come to Cape Town as well. So yeah. Any final thoughts, or is that enough? Absolute nonsense for today.
It's enough absolute nonsense for today, but the blow never hit. If they were planning to make me miserable, they are not. I'm in high spirits and everything is fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
We got the engine going.
You missed. Yeah.
So yeah. All right, guys. That's all for today. It's been a while since we streamed, but hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you for the next one. Cheers.